In this episode, it's all about staying motivated. So today's episode is going to be about trying to get motivated to get back to work on the Jeep. As you can see, it's kind of packed in my garage. I have limited space and I just haven't been working on it. This video hopefully will come out shortly after the last video they just posted, but that video, as any of the subscribers will know, took a while to come out, and it was actually filmed quite a while ago, but for whatever reason I was just procrastinating editing the video and getting it posted. So if you have worked on projects before like this, you'll know this is fairly common. You just kind of get to a point where it's really hard to get motivated to work on the project. If you haven't worked on a project or you're working on your first project, it's good to know this is very common. You just get to a point where you just get your interests get kind of distracted by other things. This summer I kind of got back into mountain biking, so anytime there was nice weather, I was more interested in getting out on my mountain bike and doing some riding and things like that. So I've been kind of putting off working on the Jeep. The other reason is because it's so crowded in here. If the weather's just totally pouring outside, it makes it hard because I have to pull the 911 out, make some room in here. So now I kind of have my back up against the wall. We're way behind schedule from where I wanted to be, and today I'm just going to try and get back at it. Start with little things. I still have to basically pull the passenger door apart and do the repairs on that, which isn't too difficult of a job. So that's where we're going to start after I kind of get this cleaned up a bit and make some room to work on. So let's get going. Okay, so enough with that boo-hoo me talk. The easiest way to get back into a project is just to pick something and get started. You'd be surprised at how a little bit of accomplishment motivates you to move on to the next thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with this door here. Basically, in the last video I showed you how it's done. When I was editing that video, I realized I didn't show up very close shots of the actual cracks in the door. So I'm going to grab the camera, show you what the cracks look like if you've never seen them, or what to look for, and then basically I'll just power through this in a time lapse, and then we'll move on to something else. Okay, so on this door you can see there's a crack right here. This is the most common spot for them because I think it's due to the bracing of the vent window, and then it just causes a bit of flexing there, which will crack over time. So on this door we've got this crack here. The rest of it looks pretty good. Yeah, this door is much better. You can see there's a little bit of cracking right here, which we'll fix up. And then again, we're gonna weld this solid along here just to prevent the water from entering. Same on this side, you can see how it's a little bit rusty there. But otherwise, this door looks pretty good. I think that's just a scratch there that's starting to rust. But yeah, so we'll get started on the door, and then we'll move on to something else. got the door disassembled as much as I'm going to today. Now it's just a matter of removing the paint in the spots where I need to weld up, prepare those areas, and then we'll get the welder out and get to welding. Okay, so while I wait for this body filler to dry here, what we're going to do is move on to the next repair that I found kind of while I was killing time. I started poking at a little bit of a rust spot, and it turned into quite a bit bigger little hole than I was hoping for. So I'll bring the camera in and show you where we're going to next. Okay, so we're at the passenger side front fender here, and this wasn't actually very noticeable when it had paint on it. It was a little bit of a bubble there, and I started picking at it with a little screwdriver, but as you can see, it has turned into a bit of a hole. Like with the other side, basically dirt gets in here and gets trapped and then just holds the moisture. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to try and leave the fender on, but cut the rusty section out and put a patch in here, and hopefully get rid of any of the rusty metal. So that's what we're doing now. So you can see this is all dirt trapped in here, which is what causes the rust. You can see there's holes that are supposed to be there. But what happens is that's actually what's allowing the dirt in here. So not sure how much I'm going to have to cut off. That's most of the bad stuff through here, but this stuff here is still fairly rotten. So have to see how it goes. Might be able to weld to this if I clean it up. So if the metal's too rusty though, what happens is it just starts blowing holes through it as you try to weld it, and plus it'll just start rusting again. So try to get to as good a metal as you can. So. that's going to do it for today's episode. Basically, we got this done. I know wasn't a lot of talking. It was mostly just time-lapse this time, but I just want to get back into it and get in a groove and power through it. This was kind of one of the last major repairs we have to do before we start just the general body work. So that's been done. I also filled in this little dent over here. I'm not sure if you'll see much of that, but it was just a small dent that I just used some body filler to smooth out. The door is done. The body filler's been done here. Happy with that. So yeah, I'm happy with the way everything went today. Next up, we may be just, like I said, just kind of picking away at the body work and get it ready for paint. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Analog Generation.